Other students, till now we have done three parts of budget and budgetary control, and the three parts what we did were flexible, cash and sales. Now I take the next two parts together in one sum, that is production and purchase budget. In exams, they can ask you both of them together, they can ask you separately, depends. Now, the good thing is the sum what I am going to do, 2 to 3 times, in fact more times, it has come in your TYBAF board exam. Very simple concept. No doubt the sum is bit lengthy because if you see on the board I have made two formats. After this there's further continuation because I am doing two in one, production as well as purchase, and in purchase there's a point of material consumption also. Now guys, as the word suggests, production budget, that means what we did in the previous session, sales budget. How many goods you are expecting to sell? What is your expected sales? Now, if you are a manufacturer, whatever you are going to sell, for that estimate कहाँ से आएगा? Production. Because what you sell, that you have to produce. Without production, you cannot sell it. So first, sales are projected. If I want to sell goods, to sell the goods, मेरे पास finished goods होना चाहिए. To have the finished goods, if I am a trader, I will purchase. But if I am a manufacturer, basics of your FY degree, I will buy material, I will further process it, and then I will produce the goods. So that is the concept of production and purchase budget. पहले sales estimate करो, which we discussed earlier classes में. On that basis, predict how much you will produce. Produce करने के लिए कितना purchase करना पड़ेगा, that you have to estimate. So in short, production and purchase go hand in hand. Okay, now this is the main concept. There is nothing much to explain other than this. I will straight away come to the sum. Understand very carefully. We are going to divide this sum in three parts. First part, second part, and after I finish the second part, I will extend the video by taking the third part. Question is there in front of you. Let's read the question. Okay. See what it says. Aaron Limited estimates sales of its products MN for the next 5 months as follows. They have given you Jan to May, each month का unit sold. What I told you, produce करने के लिए I need the base of sales. Now, stock of product MN at the end of every month is to be equal to 30% of the sales estimate for next month. Mark it important. Whatever I am going to sell in the next month, uska 30% will be my closing stock. Closing inventory of December also was maintained on same basis. Each unit of product MN requires two types of material and following quantities. Material X 10 liters, material Y 12 liters. Now, material equal to 10 month of requirement for the next month consumption are kept as closing stock. Similar to that, the stock position on 31st December was as under: X 40,000 liters and Y 30,000 liters. Price of material X, purchase price of X is 5 per liter and Y is 4. Now see what they have told you. From the above, prepare the following. They have asked you three things. Production budget for the period Jan to April. Material consumption budget for Jan to April. Without this, I cannot do this. Without this, I won't be able to do the third part. Third part क्या है? Purchase budget showing quantity and value for Jan to March. सो 4 months का प्रोडक्शन मटेरियल कंजम्पशन बजट एंड 3 months का परचेज बजट. Without material consumption, I cannot decide what I will buy. Okay guys, chalo. First, let's focus step by step. First, you will make this heading production budget of Aron Limited for the period January to April. Particulars Jan, Feb, March, April. The size of the 4 months you make in such a way and the units can be accommodated. See 20,000, 25,000, 5 to 6 digits units you can accommodate utna. Make the width and the length, keep it around 8 lines. 8 lines ka table bana. Okay guys, chalo. Now understand this. There's a formula. वो formula को मैं table में present करूंगा. Understand how. First, they have given you sales for Jan to May. I am preparing production budget for Jan to April. So we will always start with the base what is given, that is sales. So right here sales. Put the respective units. January ka sales 20,000. February ka sales 25,000. March ka sales 30 and April ka sales 35,000. 20,000 for Jan, Feb 25, March 30,000 and April 35. This data fill in the blanks as per the information in the question. Got it? So these are the sales. Now guys, understand this concept very clearly. आगे क्या करना है? You all have done SY में cost sheet, correct? In cost sheet there were sums where sometimes we used to calculate production units, sometimes sales. So if you all remember, what is the formula? See here, na? Sales is opening stock plus production minus closing stock. Just write it somewhere. Sales is opening stock plus production minus closing stock. Now see, I know the sales ka units. Opening closing ka indirect information or direct information is given. So I have to find out production. So the final answer of this table will be production. Final answer of this table will be production. Now guys, listen, don't get confused. So what I have to do? This formula, equation, I have to do the same thing, but I will interchange. Sales is equal to, so now what you will do? Instead of this, you will say production is equal to. Okay, so what you will do? Production यहीं पे रहने दो. Opening stock, closing stock को इधर लो. Opposite side. Getting it? Now see. Production I have taken here. Minus closing. Closing को इधर shift करो. Okay. So what I will do? Production is equal to sales. Now this is minus closing. So I will add closing stock. And opening is plus. So I will minus. Getting it? If you see, it is exactly the same. मैं repeat करता हूं. Sales is equal to opening stock plus production minus closing stock. Now, if I substitute the same thing, production इधर ही रहने दो. Sales, closing stock minus है shifted here, plus हो जाएगा. Opening plus है तो minus हो जाएगा. This logic is important. कितना है? What I will produce minus जो बचेगा, that will be units sold. So same logic say I am going to interchange. Getting it? What I have plus what I produce minus what remains will be unit sold. So इसी को मैंने interchange किया. Understand is right is because this is the concept which will be required in this table. Now listen. Production is equal to sales. I have already written sales. आगे क्या करना है? Add closing stock. So what I do? Below sales, I will write add closing stock. Below sales, I will write add closing stock. Now guys, listen. What is the information given for closing stock? See that paragraph. Stock of product MN at the end of every month is to be equal to 30% estimate of next month sales. What it says? My closing stock will be next month के sales का 30%. Each month का closing stock will be 30% of next month sale. So see, I'll put the brackets first. January का closing stock क्या होगा? Next month के sales का 30%. Next month का sales 25,000 का 30%. I'll repeat. Closing stock will be next month के sales का 30%. February का next month is March. So मेरा February का stock होगा 30,000 का 30%. April 35,000 का 30%. And can I say April will be May का? May का कितना है? 32,000. So this will be 32,000 का 30%. Getting it? 32,000 का 30%. So see, I'll repeat guys. Each month का closing stock will be next month के sale का 30%. Jan का closing stock Feb के sales का 30%. Feb का closing stock March के sales का 30%. March का closing stock April के sales का 30%. And April का closing stock next month May का 30%. Very simple this is. This type of sums I am telling you from my experience. बहुत सारे students छोड़ देते. Don't do that mistake. Sum length में बड़ा है, लेकिन it is very simple if you get the logic. Very scoring full worth of 15 marks. So don't keep that psychology ये confusion create मत करना. Apply this logic and solve it. Okay, चलो. Let's take the answers. So 30%, 7,500. This will be 9,000. 10,500 and 9,600. Okay. Next month के sales का 30%. Now, as per this formula, opening को minus करना है. For convenience of calculation, let's first take the total. So 20 plus this 27,500, 34,000, 4,500 and 44,600. 25, 34, 4,500, 44,600. Got it guys? So देखो, production is equal to sales plus closing stock. Now what I have to do? I will deduct the opening. Now understand this very carefully. Less opening stock, less opening stock. You all are doing it since FYJC. FYJC से तुम लोग कर रहे हो. Can I say previous month का closing becomes my current month का opening? Previous month का closing becomes my current month का opening. So Jan का closing becomes Feb का opening. Jan का closing becomes Feb का opening. Feb का closing becomes March का opening. And March का closing becomes April का opening. Jan का closing Feb का opening. Feb का closing March का opening. March का closing April का opening. I don't need May. Now listen. 1, 2, 3. यहां का क्या? See the question. They have told you December का closing stock is on same basis. Guys, apply this logic. जैसे मैंने बोला इसमें खाली concept है, everything is same. December का closing is on the same way. How you got closing? When I took closing मैंने क्या किया? Next month के sales का 30%. Now can I say my December का next month is Jan? Understand this. December का next month is Jan. So मेरा December का closing होगा Jan के sales का 30%. मेरा December का closing होगा Jan के sales का 30%. So can I say December का closing will be Jan का opening. Getting it? I'll repeat again. December का closing will be Jan के sales का 30%. So December का closing becomes Jan का opening. In short, my Jan का opening will be Jan के sales का 30%. So 20,000 का 30% gives you 6,000. In short, if you see 25 का 30% 7,500, 30 का 30% 9,000, 35 का 30% 10.5. Closing next month के sales का 30%. So automatically opening becomes same month के sales का 30%. वापस रिपीट करता हूं. दिसंबर का जो भी मेरा सेल्स है क्लोजिंग स्टॉक है दैट विल बी जैन के सेल्स का 30%. दिसंबर का क्लोजिंग विल बी जैन का ओपनिंग. सो जैन का ओपनिंग विल बी जैन के सेल्स का 30%. गेटिंग इट? गेट द आंसर. सो दिस इज 21,500. 26,500, 31,500 and 34,100. Getting it? 27,500 minus 6, 34 minus 7.5, 4,500 minus 9,000 and 44,600 minus 10.5. What is this? This is nothing but my production. Therefore, my production, or you can say units produced, is Jan 21,500 units, February 26,500 units, March 31,500 units, April 34,100. They can ask you only this as a question of 7 mark or 8 mark as only production budget. But I am trying to cover both in one video. Got it, guys? So I'll repeat. Take sales, to that add closing stock. Logic यही था. Closing stock कैसे आता है? Next month के sales का 30%. So जो भी मेरा next month का sale है, Jan में Feb के sale का 30%. Take it. Deduct the opening stock. Jan का closing, Feb का opening, same way. एंड जनवरी का मेरा ओपनिंग हो जाएगा दिसंबर का क्लोजिंग, एंड दिसंबर का क्लोजिंग बिकम्स जैन के सेल्स का 30%. नेक्स्ट मंथ के सेल्स का 30% इज माई क्लोजिंग स्टॉक. सो दिसंबर का क्लोजिंग स्टॉक विल बी जनवरी के सेल्स का 30%, एंड दिसंबर का क्लोजिंग बिकम्स जैन का ओपनिंग. गॉट इट? सो दिस वाज प्रोडक्शन बजट का टाइप. इसमें एक दो वेरिएशन है दैट आई विल बी डूइंग इन द रेगुलर क्लास. नाउ इफ यू सी द सेकेंड थिंग, बिफोर आई परचेस, मुझे पता तो चलना चाहिए कितना परचेस करूं. एंड व्हाट आई विल परचेस? आई विल परचेस मटेरियल. एंड मटेरियल परचेस करने के पहले मुझे पता होना चाहिए मैं कितना यूज करूंगा, मैं कितना यूज करूंगा, कितना कंज्यूम करूंगा. तो फॉर दैट आई विल हैव टू मेक material consumption budget. For that I will have to make material consumption budget. So this is the table. I'll just rub out and make it in a systematic way. I'll just be back. थोड़ा एंगल भी चेंज कर लेता हूं. Okay guys, now the second part, B, material consumption budget of Aaron Limited for the period Jan to April. Comparatively a smaller table, or you can make it of same size. इससे बड़ा बनाने का जरूरत नहीं. Just 6-7 lines में हो जाएगा. Okay? After that we will see the third one. Now see, material consumption budget. That means मैंने कितना material consume किया. That means मैंने कितना material consume किया. Now see the information given there. After production, that paragraph of closing stock was there. उसके नीचे देखो, each unit of product MN, each unit of product MN requires two types of material in following quantities. Each unit of product MN requires two types of material in the following quantities. X 10 liter, Y 12 liter. X 10 liter, Y 12 liter. That means whatever I produce, I will use 10 liters per unit of material X and 12 of Y. So what I'll have to do, ये same table बनाना, I will split it. Material X. How much material I will be using of X? Now listen. क्या बोला है? For each unit, I will require 10 liters of X. That means January में जो 21,500 units produce करूंगा, I'll show it in brackets. I will be needing 21,500 into 10, 2,15,000. In short, this is my finished goods. ये finished goods को produce करने के लिए मुझे 10 लीटर मटेरियल लगेगा. I'll be using 10 liters per unit of units produced. So in short, my answer will be हर एक production का into 10, हर एक produced units का into 10. So 31,500 into 10. 31,500 into 10. Got it? So what you will do? Each unit produced requires 10 liters of material. So units produced को 10 से multiply करो. That will be my material consumed for X. Straightforward calculation. 2,15,000, 265, 3,15,000 and 3,41,000. Each unit produced multiply by 10. 21,500 into 10, 26,500 into 10, 31,500 into 10, and 34,100 into 10. Each unit of finished goods requires two material X and Y. So this is X. बिना X and Y material I cannot produce. X हो गया. Now exactly same way take material Y. See, finished goods तो मेरा यही रहेगा. Finished goods मेरा यही रहेगा. X I needed 10. Now Y I need 12. So 21,500 into 12. 26,500 into 12, 31,500 into 12, and 34,100 into 12. Okay, each unit of finished goods will require 12 liters of raw material. So now what I will do, X को 10 से multiply किया because each unit of finished goods required 10 liters of X. Now Y का 12 लगता है, same production base. What here I multiplied by 10, यहाँ पे उसको 12 से multiply करो. Okay, so just multiply by 12. Okay, use the constant key. 2,58,000. 26,500 into this. 3,18,000. 3,70,000. That is 409,200. Let me check once again. 409,200. 31,500. 258. Now add it. 473. 583. 693 and 752. So your material consumption is this. My material consumption is this. So this is finished goods, units produced, raw material consume. इतना मुझे लगेगा, इतना मुझे यूज करना पड़ेगा. Now we will see the third part. अगर मुझे इतना यूज करना है तो मुझे परचेस कितना करना पड़ेगा, because there will be opening stock and closing stock of raw material on similar basis how we had opening and closing of finished goods. I hope it is clear. नहीं clear है, ये वीडियो YouTube पे ओपन है, पॉज द वीडियो और रिवाइंड कर लो, वापस देखो, and in the meantime I'll just rub this and I'll come with the format ready for the third part where we will see purchase budget both in terms of quantity and amount. So was quantity, this was quantity, third wala will be quantity and value. Again I'll repeat, without this you can't do this, and without this you won't be able to do the third one. I'll just be back with the third one. Okay guys, sorry. Third part, purchase budget of Aron Limited for the period Jan to March. It is asked only for 3 months. Now for this, जो पहला table का length था, make double of that. You will require at least 3/4 75% ऑफ पेज लगेगा. सो पर्टिकुलर्स जैन फेब मार्च, पहले दोनों बजट 4-4 महीने के थे and this one is now for 3 months. Now see, जो फॉर्मूला का लॉजिक आई एक्सप्लेन यू while doing production budget, the same thing applies here. हमने सेकेंड टेबल में क्या किया? What was our second statement? Material consumed. Okay. Now material consumed, why we did? So that we can find out how much we can purchase. Okay, we can find out how much we can purchase. So same way what I'll do na, understand this formula. अच्छा ये data मैंने लिखा because I had to rub. Purchase will be opening stock, that means raw material का plus the material what I will require, that is material consumed minus closing stock. What I will buy, जो मेरे पास ऑलरेडी है, प्लस मैं जितना यूज करूंगा माइनस जो बचेगा, दैट इज माय परचेस. सेम लॉजिक ऑफ सेल्स. नाउ सेम वे रिवर्स करो. ओके, मटेरियल कंज्यूम को उधर ही रहने देते हैं पॉजिटिव में. सो यू नो इट विल बी व्हाट, सेम थिंग. मटेरियल को इधर रहने दो, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक इधर लेके आओ. सो इट विल बी परचेस, ओके, प्लस closing sorry guys, sorry, just a minute. I am finding out purchase, so straight away मैंने यही फॉर्मूला लिख दिया. परचेस इज इक्वल टू ओपनिंग स्टॉक प्लस मटेरियल कंज्यूम माइनस क्लोजिंग स्टॉक. लॉजिक यही है. नाउ सी, हमें क्या फाइंड आउट करना है? परचेस. हमें फाइंड आउट करना है परचेस. Can I say I have material consumed? I have indirect information for opening and closing. So हमें material consumed का फिगर पता है. I was explaining the same logic but थोड़ा ये हो गया. Material consumed का फिगर पता है. So what I will do? I will take the material consumed as the base. मुझे ये पता है यहां से मुझे यहां जाना है, मुझे ये पता है, तो यहां से मुझे यहां जाना है. करेक्ट. आई वॉन्ट टू फाइंड आउट दिस. नाउ आई वॉन्ट टू फाइंड आउट दिस एंड आई नो दिस. सो व्हाट आई विल डू, आई विल इंटरचेंज द सेम वे. सो मटीरियल कंज्यूम्ड, ओके, मटीरियल कंज्यूम्ड मुझे पता है, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक माइनस है, तो टू दिस मटीरियल कंज्यूम्ड आई विल एड माय क्लोजिंग स्टॉक एंड फ्रॉम दैट आई विल डिडक्ट माय क्लोजिंग स्टॉक. गेटिंग इट? व्हाट आई वांट इज परचेस. सो यही फॉर्मूला, सी फॉर्मूला यही यूज करना है, बट मैं तुमको ये क्यों समझा रहा हूं? वर्टिकल फॉर्मेट में हमें फिट करना है, बिकॉज आई हैव मटीरियल कंज्यूम. सो दिस इज द सेम थिंग. सो यही सेम है, बट मटीरियल कंज्यूम्ड प्लस क्लोजिंग स्टॉक, सॉरी, माइनस ओपनिंग स्टॉक विल बी द, गेटिंग इट? सो इन शॉर्ट मेरा परचेस होगा मटीरियल कंज्यूम्ड प्लस क्लोजिंग माइनस परचेस. टेम्पररी इसको भूल जाओ. और व्हाट आई विल डू, सेल्स का पॉइंट समझ में आया ना? यू गेट दिस फॉर्मूला सेम वे. मुझे फाइंड आउट करना है परचेस. अगर कंफ्यूजन है तो उसको भूल जाओ. मुझे फाइंड आउट करना है परचेस. सो आई नीड मटीरियल कंज्यूम. सेकेंड टेबल में आ गया. टू दैट आई विल एड द क्लोजिंग स्टॉक. याद रखना फर्स्ट टेबल वाला क्लोजिंग स्टॉक फिनिश गुड्स का था, अभी जो होगा दैट विल बी फॉर रॉ मटेरियल्स and from that I will deduct my opening stock. So my purchases will be what material I consumed plus closing stock minus opening stock. Same logic of finished goods we will apply here for material consumed. So let's start. अभी इसमें मैं क्या करूंगा, स्प्लिट करूंगा दो पार्ट में, x and y. They have told us quantity and value. They have told us quantity and value. So x करेंगे, we will call it as A. Material y करेंगे, we will call it as B. And दोनों का total. Okay, चलो let's start. Same logic. First take material consumed as the base. So material consumed कितना है, जैन का 2,15,000, फेब का 265, मार्च का 3,15,000. मटीरियल कंज्यूम्ड जैन का 2,15,000, फेब्रुवरी का 265 एंड मार्च का 3,15,000. अप्रैल मैं नहीं बना रहा हूं, लेकिन आई विल बी नीडिंग फॉर माय क्लोजिंग स्टॉक. मटीरियल कंज्यूम एट क्लोजिंग स्टॉक, कॉन्सेप्ट इज द सेम. आई रिपीट अगेन, फर्स्ट टेबल का सेम कॉन्सेप्ट, बट वो फिनिश गुड्स का था, ये रॉ मटेरियल का है. ओके, नाउ सी what is the information. Now what I say, material equal to 10% of the requirement of next month's consumption is my closing stock. So my closing stock will be next month के consumption का 10%. My closing stock will be next month के consumption का 10%. So February 2,65,000 का 10%, जनवरी का क्लोजिंग स्टॉक विल बी फेब्रुवरी का 10%, फेब्रुवरी विल बी मार्च का 10%, और ये देखो मैंने अप्रैल क्यों लिखा था, टू गेट मार्च. सो मार्च का हो जाएगा 3,41,000 इंटू 10%. गेटिंग इट. पहले कैसा था फिनिश गुड्स में, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक वाज नेक्स्ट मंथ के सेल्स का 30%, यहां पे नेक्स्ट मंथ के सेल का 10%. ओके, सो ये हो गया मेरा 26,500, एक्सक्यूज मी 31,500, 34,100. टेक द टोटल, 215 प्लस 26,500, 241,500, 265 plus 31,500, 296,500, 3,15,000 plus 34,100, 349,100. So material consumed में add closing stock. Exactly same way, from this I will deduct opening stock. I will deduct opening stock. Same concept of the first statement of this session. Jan का closing, can I say Feb का opening? Feb का closing, can I say March का opening? Okay? Current month का closing will be next month का opening. So Jan का closing, Feb का opening, Feb का closing, March का opening. यहां का क्या? Had they not given anything in the question, this would be current month का consumption का 10%. But see, they have directly given you in the question. कितना दिया है? 40,000. So because they have mentioned, you will take 40,000. I'll repeat. अगर ये 40 नहीं दिया होता, this would be current month के consumption का 10%. Why? Because December का closing would have been Jan का 10%, तो इसका 10% होता था. But they have directly given you 40,000. Okay, so take the difference. 241 minus 40,000, 201 500, 296 500 minus 26 500, 2 lakh 70, 349 100 minus 31 500, 317 600. Getting it? This is my purchase of quantity. You can write there quantity to be purchased. This is of X. Now listen. ये purchase है. Quantity and value. Question में दिया है, देखो कितना है मेरा. What is the price of X per liter? 5 रुपया. That means I have to buy this much of X in Jan, Feb and March. इतने लीटर्स मुझे परचेज करने हैं. Now परचेज करने के लिए I have to pay 5 rupees per kg. So into the rate per liter, which is 5 each. So what I will do, I will multiply by 5. So 5 into 201 500, that is 1007 500, 13 lakh 50,000 and 15 lakh 88,000. So quantity purchased into the rate per liter will give me the amount. So this will be A, that is purchase amount of material X. Purchase amount of material X. देख लो बराबर, चाहिए तो पॉज करके वापस रिवाइज कर लो, और you can rewind it, because what I did exactly for X, the same thing will be done for Y. रिपीट होगा, खाली X के डेटा की जगह Y का डेटा आ जाएगा. ओके, चलो आई कंटिन्यू द सेम थिंग. B, material Y. I'll start with the same thing. Material consumed. Y का दिया हुआ, I've written it because I rubbed out a statement. कितना है Jan? Y Jan consumption is 2,58,000, 3,18,000 and 378. 258, 3,18,000 and 378. Again, to this I will add the closing stock. Now see here, देखो I think same percentage here. Let's see. हाँ, exactly same. Next month का 10%. So what I will do, my closing stock of Jan will be Feb के consumption का 10%. Feb will be March के consumption का 10%, and this is 409,200 का 10%. Next month के consumption का 10%. So ये हो गया 31,800, 37,800 and 409,200. Next month के consumption का 10%. Got it? चलो, take the total. 258 plus 31,800, 289,800, 318 plus this 355,800, 378 plus this 418,920. Let me check. Yeah, and now from this I will deduct my opening stock. I will deduct my opening stock. Now listen, same thing ना, same logic आएगा. Jan का closing, Feb का opening, so 31,800. Feb का closing, March का opening. Now listen, this is given in the question. कितना दिया है? I think 30,000. This is given in the question. अगर ये नहीं दिया होता, same logic, same month के consumption का 10%. But they have given you 30,000. So this is 30 है ना? Yeah, 30,000. Got it? Chalo, that's it. Now let's take the difference. That will be my quantity to be purchased. Quantity to be purchased. 289,800 minus 30. 259,800. 355,800 minus 31,800. 418,920 minus 37,800. 381,120. And this I will multiply by the rate per liter. कितना है y? y का रेट इज 4. x का 5 रुपया था, y का है. Okay, let's take this. 4 into 259,800 that is 1039,200. 1363,200. 4. 1524 480. Let me check. Sorry. So this is 1296. लगा गड़बड़. Sorry guys. This is 12,96,000 and 1524 480. Got it guys? So this is the amount which I am going to pay. So X के लिए I will pay this much, Y के लिए I'll pay this much. Therefore, my total purchases, this is in rupees, huh? So my total purchases will be A plus B कितना आता है A plus B 1007 500 plus 1039 200 gives you 20,46,700. 1350 plus 1296 2646 and 1588 480 gives you 31,12 480. 31, 12, 480. Got it? So this is the amount I'll spend in terms of rupees for X, B is for Y, and A plus B. So this is the total purchases what I am going to make. Got it guys? I'll repeat again. जो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट किया वो बराबर समझ लो, उसके बेसिस पे ये है सेम लॉजिक. वहां पे क्या था, सेल्स एट क्लोजिंग माइनस ओपनिंग. यहाँ पे परचेस विल बी मटेरियल कंज्यूम एट क्लोजिंग माइनस ओपनिंग. वहां का लॉजिक देख लो, ऑटोमेटिकली ये क्लियर. Without the first statement, I cannot get material consumption. Without material consumption, I cannot get this. Got it? So this was a sum on production and purchase budget. YouTube open video है, जितनी बात चाहिए देख लो. And the same type has come in the board exams 3 to 4 times. So please revise this. That's it guys. For the regular students who are studying with me, will continue further. As I mentioned, this was an open YouTube video. Those who are not studying with me, you all can watch it. In case of any doubts, you can connect with me. I have given the number in the bio of YouTube channel of mine. That's it guys. Take care and please revise properly.